Okay, my name is Angele Valade, and aka My Happy Medium. And what I'm going to do is give you a little bit of example of my tarot readings that I use with the Osho Zen deck. So for today, I'm just going to do a reading on myself. There's been a lot of changes, a lot of epiphanies, new people entering my life, some challenges that I'm being asked to deal with. So I thought I'd just share what's going on with me, and if at all it applies to you, then that's good. Usually at the flea market, when I do readings for numerous people in the day, I've noticed there's a theme. A lot of people, complete strangers, will pick still the same cards, sometimes in the same position. So what's going on with one person, sometimes it goes on with a lot of other people, especially when we take a look at the fact that we're one consciousness to begin with, just on many different levels. So I'm going to pick out my 10 cards, and I'm going to do the reading on myself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I've got 10 in the circle, but I'm going to pick one more because that's going to give me extra added insight of what's going on with the outside influences. As much as I like to pick that one, I'm not going to because it's just kind of obvious. So by any means, whatever card you pick is pretty much what you were meant to pick. So it doesn't really matter in the end. These, again, the tarot decks, any kind of cards, oracle cards, runes, they're basically all just a tool, okay? So it needs to be kept in mind. They're just a tool, communication tool, like a phone of some sort to the other side. Okay, so my general circumstance, what's going on here now for me. Like I said, this is going to be a reading that's more, it's really direct. I really want to know what's going on. There's been a lot of awesome things happening, and I see, what I'm thinking and what I'm planning and what I'm dreaming are all possibilities, right? Of course, there's still, little challenges and oppositions that I need to face and break through, and that's with everybody and on everybody's path. So I thought just today I would share my path, where I'm at. Okay, so my general circumstance is my inner voice. And yes, I have been listening to that quite a bit. Not only have I been listening to it, I've been communicating with it. It's interesting. It's not boring. It's definitely showing me guidance, and trusting and believing in everything is way more easier. And so that's good to know that that's my general circumstance. So I got to really pay attention to that. So not to spend too much time going back and forth on something, because if my inner voice is constantly telling me the same thing and that's the theme, then I shouldn't be wasting my time trying to make it anything else than what it's not, especially if it's consistent in what it's saying to me. The next card is going to diminish or enhance this card. So as much as I may feel right now it's a good card, diminishing means, it's not shining as much as it should. Enhancing, well, it's just going to get better. So, no, see, that's actually kind of cool, because that's so where I'm at. Because I'm really not looking to anybody else anymore for any kind of clarification. Guidance always, because I know that everybody is a reflection, and they're beautiful and they always guide me. But not to worry too much about what they're going to think or what they're, we all have the same destiny. So I have to become the master of my own life. Nobody is going to come and live my life or learn the lessons that I need to learn. And so that's really good, because I'm listening to my inner voice, and in doing so, I'm becoming the master of my own existence. And I just like to say right now that this deck, the Osho Zen deck, really differs from the original Edgar Waite, Palma, Colin Smith deck, which I will introduce to you. I have a deck that's 103 years old. I will put on film. But this deck differs from that as it has 79 versus your 78 cards, and the 79th card is the Master. And like I said at the beginning, these are just tools. The cards are just a tool. You know, after a while, you don't really need them, right? Especially if you're just listening to your own voice, because it's going to tell you everything you need to know. You're not going to need to pick any kind of card. Okay, forward. This is the heart of the matter. This is where, you know, we got to get to the heart. You know, what's really going on. Rebirth. Yes, definitely. I will totally and completely agree that this is a rebirth. My life will never be the same. I'm embracing things more and more and more. And yeah, there's definitely, yeah, I could totally agree with that. That is definitely true. So now we're going to go to my ultimate achievement. And so this is what really I want to ultimately achieve. There you go. It's awareness. So ultimately achieving, I want to have as much awareness as I possibly can. It's almost addicting. And actually I was just told, oh, today you know everything. And I actually said, no, I don't know everything. But I know every single day I wake up, I'm going to learn something new. And I'm going to know something more that I didn't know the day before. And that's awareness. You know, you're open. I'm going to hopefully just become more and more aware. I just gotta listen, you know. I just gotta have faith and trust and belief. And that for me is really not a problem anymore. I'm not fighting it at all. So this is actually kind of cool. So this is where I'm coming from. This is my past card. And it's not too far into the past because I don't like to do that. And I don't like to take too far into the future because then you lose spot of where you are and then the process becomes a little bit murky because you don't know where you are in the process anymore. So this is the past. Wow. Okay. Totally conditioned. Everybody's been conditioned. With the conditioning card, it's like, you know, there's the sheep with the lion, and the lion, this whole time he thought he was just a sheep until another lion came by and said, what are you doing with all these sheep? And then all of a sudden he had to realize that he wasn't a sheep, he was a lion. And you know, that's where a lot of the rebirthing comes in because, well, it's not easy for him to just go and pretend that he's, you know, he's not aware of being a lion. So he is now, and so that's good. This is the past. Yay! Because we've been conditioned in so many different ways, and it's only until we listen to our inner voice and to what our heart is telling us, that's when we know that we're coming from true authenticity, right? Not from what somebody else is telling us we should be or do, or, you know what I mean? So that's good. Okay, so this is the future card. Playfulness, that is totally where I want to do. I just want to totally play. Just play with that divine source that I know that is there. Enjoy life. Like, my God, the vibrations that you can feel once you start becoming aware of certain things, especially your conditioning. And yeah, it's pretty amazing. So yeah, that's good. This is my attitude. This is what, obviously, my attitude is about the whole situation. Maturity, totally agree. Totally agree. I'm not the same person that I was a year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago. I'm not the same person. So I've definitely gone through some phases of maturity, and again, it's going to be really hard for me to go back. That's why the heart of the matter is, you know, to just keep going and see what it is. And I'm totally and completely aware of what my situations are. So this is my environment card. Courage. Yep, you can kind of feel, maybe hear it in my voice. I'm kind of a little bit scared, you know. So, but I'm not too much anymore. So I'm really strengthening onto my courage, and I'm learning to call on to Arch Angel Micheal and, you know, the angels and the help and the guides, and, you know, really just not be scared and just pull through. And I've lived enough to know that I'm okay. Like, I know it's gonna be fine. So yeah, you know, it's courage. My hopes or fears is we are the world. I don't really think that that's a fear. I actually really cannot wait till I take my spot within the world and do it, you know, play my part, my role, what it is that I need to do, you know. So I wouldn't think it's fear, especially if I got my courage. So I'd be working on that. So we're going to go for the outcome. And that's my thunderbolt, and that's the challenge that I'm facing right now, because up to this point in time, whatever I've, certain thoughts, belief systems, certain things that are not working anymore that may have worked 6 months ago, are, is pretty much coming down to the basics, to ground zero, where I have to rebuild and really think about what in my life and how I want to have, build, because I am rebirthing myself pretty much. There is a transformation coming, so whatever I had before is going to be coming down and having to be looked at, and so that's okay. That is okay, because again, I said I had the inner voice with me, so that's going to definitely guide me and help me and show me what's going to really work and what's not to compromise certain, growth, because my attitude is maturity and I have grown, so I can't compromise anymore. So this is my little extra insight, and we'll see how this is. There you go. It's the creator. And I'm the creator of my life. I become the creator. Life is what I choose to make of it and how I choose to create it. And I'm really being shown all the tools and everything that I can possibly use to create an awesome life. And considering where I've come from, where, in the last almost 42 years, I'm not worried. I'm not, it's fine. It's good. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So I will introduce my 103-year-old duck. This is, that was a good reading. So this is what started the whole card thing for me. I was really, 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 really not into tarot too much. But this deck was handed to me, and you can see it. It's pretty old. It was my first deck. I actually used to have issues with the tarot cards because I used to feel that everything was inside of you to begin with, and you were told you were your own psychic. You didn't need to go see a psychic. And then when I got to BC, I went to go pick up my daughter from her friend's house, and the mom was like, "Angel, this deck needs to come to you. It's been telling me for about a month now." So I've had it since 1996 until about a year ago. This was not too bad of a shape, and then one day my dog Chewy decided to chew up a card and my occult book, which was kind of interesting because he's not really his name is not because he chews things. He never actually does. So that he chewed this and the book at the same time was kind of interesting. But I keep the chewed up card in the deck because I like to play with the full deck, but I let everybody know that there is, yes, a marked card, and the card is the King of Cups. And these are very old. They have little interpretations at the bottom, and this interpretation is actually kind of cool, considering this is the only card that got wrecked. And my partner had wanted me to sell them for a long time, and there was just no way I could sell them because I was told not to. So, but the reading on this card is the King of Cups, and it says sound business principle, and it could be used for profit. And anybody that knows me knows that I had issues about making a profit off of doing readings. So it's very symbolic that this card's been chewed up. And yes, I still put it in my deck because it makes it so that I've got a full deck. But it's marked, okay? So I really don't like to use the actual tarot. When it comes down to the cards, I really like to use my Osho Zen deck versus the actual tarot. But I do pull these out. People do really like them, and they're pretty powerful. They're very powerful. Oh, I wanted to play with a full deck. So here's the full deck. We got the marked card in there. I always show people it anyway beforehand, so they're pulling it. They're kind of cheating. Okay, so what I'm going to do is this one I'm just going to fan out, and I'm going to pick out 3 cards. And this is just going to give me a little rundown of what's going on. So I'm drawn to here, so I'm just going to pick. And this is the 3 of Swords. And this is really, when it comes down to my Thunderbolt card that I had there, where, you know, rapture of emotional nature, it says don't hurt and heal. So yeah, it's not a question of, you know, because things aren't working and there's a lot of changes, I try not to really hurt, that this is a healing time, and yeah, so this is fine. As long as I keep listening to my inner voice, you know, whatever hurts I'm going to feel, I'm going to, you know, pull through it. And I've been through enough to know that, you know, you heal. I know a lot of it's hard to understand, but it's through suffering that one becomes totally and completely alive. I know, it sucks. This is the middle card. This would be what's going on in the future today, right now. See? And this is interesting because you remember I just talked about this, right? And this says, turn back on all that has been and start again. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. You know, I have to turn back on everything and then just start again with a new perspective, a rebirth, right? And don't hurt. I can't hurt. I got to heal, right? So let's go to the future, which I don't really do, so it's kind of like near future, right? And this is really good. It's the Eight of Wands, and the interpretation says love cleaves a clear path through all conditions. So we're looking at, you know, don't worry, just turn back and all that has been, start again, and, you know, don't worry about it, because I know love will always find a way. It doesn't matter, and especially if you're healing and you're opening yourself up to love, there's nothing that's ever going to stand in love's way, and you'll be constantly healed, constantly reassured. So this is kind of good for me to see that, because I know that this is exactly what I knew when I was coming to sit down to videotape this reading. So this is kind of cool. So yeah, that is this is my 103-year-old deck. That's my Osho Zen. That was just a little sample reading of what I do for myself. This is what I needed to see. I wanted to kind of share with you guys the experience of an Osho Zen without trying to generalize everybody and putting everybody into one, you know, to one reading. So I thought, well, how could I work around that? And it would be do a reading for myself. So I'm hoping that that kind of helped you see. Still, you can tell, a little bit nervous, and but that's okay, because I have that courage, and I'm just gonna, you know, fight and keep going. I know I've got to share. Like, this is, and those who know me really know this, and there's some people out there that have known me for a very long time, since I was a little kid, and they know that, you know. So I have a great support system, and I just got to keep the faith, right? So this is the Arch Angel Micheal deck, and I'm just going to pick out one. And sometimes this one is pretty tricky, because anytime I think that I am completely in charge, I'd end up pulling out the God in charge, or, you know, it's pretty powerful. Cards are an amazing tool, but you got to remember they're only going to work as much as you're tuning into the divine source, into your higher consciousness, and turning into your own spirit that it lives in the world. So that being said, the more that we work towards it for ourselves, the more we're the community, these tools, it's just amazing what you can do to fix your life. Oh, wow. Okay, see what I'm telling you? Okay, so this is my Archangel Micheal, and this is what it says. Admit the truth to yourself and act accordingly. Guys, I think I just pretty much admitted the truth. There's not much more that I can do except getting up every single day and doing what it is that I got to do and being open. So I hope this helped to show you guys what I'm doing and how I do it. And I do. I have to totally and completely admit the truth. I have to admit it. And, you know, to be honest with you, there's some truths that, you know, people don't want to face. And I get it. I'm the same way. There's certain things that I try to put off actually admitting the truth, because I know that if I admitted the truth, then I really have to act accordingly. And it's just what it is. Things are happening right here. A lot of, you know, changes are coming my way. So what's going to work is going to work. What's not, it's not. And that's going to be the truth. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I look forward to doing this again. Anybody's interested in a reading and checking out for yourself, give me a call. Facebook me. You can go on my website, myhappymedium.ca. Drop me a line. We could do Skype, telephone. Some people have asked me for email. I could probably do that. But yeah, give me a call. Check it out for yourself. Okay, thanks. Bye, guys.